Good morning, world. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy FRE$H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's THEFLYBOYWAY. Don't ask why, just check out the channel. And we're back here with another episode of the Black Man's Guide to World Travel. This time is a special episode since we are going into the 4th of July in the United States. I figured I might as well kick it over to Hawaii. For those that don't know, I just consider myself a regular person who lives an extraordinary life. I have a regular job. I work at FedEx from 9 to 5 and then from 5 to 9, put a little bit of overtime in. I invest in real estate and I try to save and budget as much as I can. Now for this trip, I won't be able to give you the price of how much it costs the average person to take a flight from New York, where I'm at, to Hawaii, because I use the benefits of my company, FedEx, to get a standby ticket, which only cost me about $205 round trip. So from New Jersey to Hawaii cost me $205 round trip. So I was already starting off on the up and up. This trip was only like a 3-month in advance plan because I had already had my trip for Colombia set. But one of my friends, Flop Santana, who I mentioned in the last episode when I was talking about Dubai, he was leaving the station he was stationed at in the Navy in Hawaii and coming back to the mainland, Virginia. So we said, hey, before you go out there, we haven't been out there to see you. We're going to come out to see you and we're going to celebrate. We're going to party. Between Common Boy Mel and Flop, they picked out a lot of stuff. My friend Flop Santana was parked out. Oh, man, he had a dope Lex. My friend Flop Santana at the time was living in Hawaii with his family, his beautiful daughter and his wife. So we didn't want to crash there. So we still booked the Airbnb. Now, the Airbnb, we stayed in the city of Manoa. Now, I could be pronouncing that wrong, but I believe it's Manoa, Hawaii. Now, Manoa, Hawaii is about approximately 10 minutes from Waikiki and about 10 or 15 minutes from Honolulu. So it's in a great area right outside of the main city. We took an Uber everywhere we went, which was pretty reasonable price. Now, for those that don't know, Hawaii is a part of the United States, as I mentioned, and it is quite expensive in comparison to Middle America. Now, in comparison to New Jersey, it may be a little bit less expensive than New Jersey, but for a somewhat paradise, even though it's in America, out of country experience, it's a little more pricey. So a lot of the things that we did were a little more pricey. Now, the first day we got there, I went to the store. I went to the store to get the basic necessities that you need for late nights when you don't want to call Uber Eats or you don't want to go out too late or something like that. I got some snacks and juices and things that kind of build up and save you money when you actually go places. Like I tell everybody, you should always go and get food the first day you're there and get familiar with the area. When you book your Airbnb, check the area that your Airbnb is around. Make sure you're within proximity of a fast food restaurant and a grocery store. So the first day when we arrived in Honolulu, Hawaii, we decided to head out to the mall. Now, the mall in Hawaii, it looks like an outlet mall, but it's definitely not outlet prices. And they have all of basically the same stuff we have in like some of our main malls. That's one thing that really surprised me. I didn't know exactly how much Asian culture was in Hawaii's thing. I've seen it on TV, but I never really imagined what Hawaii would be like. Now, this place that we went, there was all different types of food. But mainly like Asian culture. It was kind of cool. There was actually this ice cream place that was cool too. We didn't eat from that, but my boy Flop Santana showed me around, and I actually had a nice little plate from somewhere. The prices wasn't too expensive. It was like New Jersey prices for what I say in New Jersey. It wasn't expensive. It was like $9 a plate, $10 a plate. You know what I mean? It was pretty much the same price we pay over here because it's still United States. The first night that we spent in Honolulu, Hawaii, we decided to go to a gentleman's club. Now, because I don't want to mix the part about women with the part of explaining the black man's travels, as I normally do, on the screen, you're going to see the time at which I really get into more detail about the women of Honolulu, Hawaii. Let me also preface this weekend that we went with the fact that somehow was the same weekend that fell on the Chinese New Year. The first bar that I went to by myself was called Play Bar. Now, when I got outside of Play Bar, I was like, oh, this is a cool atmosphere. It wasn't that packed outside. It was a line of Asian people because, like I said, there was the Chinese New Year, and we was all kicking it. They was cool. It was actually kind of they was kind of throw. It was kind of lit. They was wilding, but we was kicking it. We got inside, right? Now, when we got inside, it cost about $5 to get in. In the background, you'll be able to see the video of the dancing and people wilding. I mean, I don't know if everybody was drunk, but it was just a crazy experience. Now, there were some beautiful women in this club also. I like all type of women. Thin women, thick women, Asian, black, Latino, white, Indian, Native American. We'll get more into women around the women part, and I'll get into that part. But I went to Play Bar, and it was amazing. So we finally picked some activities to do with my homie Flop Santana, and he used his Navy Pass, and we were able to get some of the best activities for great prices. The first activity we did was a Hawaiian luau. Now, for those that don't know about Hawaii, Hawaii was mainly first, I believe, Polynesian people, and Polynesian people were the natives to Hawaii. They had certain rituals they called luaus, and in luaus they basically celebrated the culture. They welcomed newcomers in, and they did things like that. Even though it was at a hotel, it felt authentic because the people that were in it were authentic and everything. They even gave us a chance to get on stage and practice what they taught us. And for some reason, I guess things just always work out this way. You know, I raised my hand and I was selected. Then when I got up there and, oh man, the beautiful Polynesian women are amazing. You can see in the video. But when I got up there, you know, I was into it. I was showing them, you know, listen, I want to learn your culture. I want to learn your moves. So guess what? I got singled out and picked for the main part of the show. So in the main part of the show, they had me come on stage by myself, told me that, okay, so now you can put your gift of being so cool is that you can perform for everybody. So, you know, you can probably see in the background, but it was a very entertaining time. It was a very entertaining time. And it's just, when I go places, I like to really be active into things. So I'm not afraid to show out. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to just open myself up to the culture and enjoy it. So you'll see me on stage with my dance moves, and I thought I was cool. You know, it kind of looked kind of fun, but most importantly, it was fun and it was educational. So I would definitely suggest going to a luau. If you only do it once in your lifetime, go to a luau. It's definitely worth it. Now, while in Hawaii, we also decided to go on a party cruise. Now, what a party cruise is you get a couple people and there's another couple people lined up and you go on a boat and you party. Now, it wasn't a big cruise boat, which is better because when it's smaller, it's more personal. You get to interact and wilder things happen. So we went on a boat. We was kind of cool. We met up with my homie Louis J's brother and his mother, and it was one hell of a time because everybody was having a great time. The DJ was spinning good records. We was on like the sea or the ocean. I'm not sure where we was at, but it was a afternoon to late night thing. And it was also a fireworks show because, like I said, it was the Chinese New Year. So they had fireworks going on. It was raining while we were there the whole time. So when I got to Chinatown, I was starving. I was hungry as hell. But I said, let me walk around for a little bit, look at the area. There were a lot of people around. There were a lot of people walking around, but it was raining, so you could see everybody like bunched up against the side, trying to stay dry, which is kind of funny. But it was pretty cool for it to be a Chinese holiday, and you see like a lot of different people from different places around the world. So finally, I found a place to eat called the Little Noodle House. Now, when you go somewhere on an island, I must say this: you have to be open-minded to the fact that they're on an island, so a lot of the food, once it runs out, takes some time to get there. And that's not just for the food, but for the drinks too. Because I was looking for, you know, a lot of drinks that they didn't have, and they kept trying to bring me out other drinks that I didn't want, and I said no. But finally, we worked something out, and I was able to get a 7-Up because it just worked out. But after I left the Noodle House, I decided to go to the District. Now, what the District is the District is a nightclub that's probably the biggest club in Hawaii, or in that part of Hawaii that was at in Honolulu Waikiki area, and it is about $20 to get in, which is like a normal cost in New Jersey, but a lot of places, especially if you come out the country, that's a ridiculously high price. But it was a pretty good spot. You got in there, everybody was nice, it was all cool. It was people that I didn't know that was like, you know, partying. They was like, I brought out my camera and they were like, oh, let's make that, you know, so it's cool. It was cool. And the women, they were pretty attractive. It was a lot. Like I said, I didn't really do any research on actually knowing what the culture of Hawaii consists of, because like I said, there were so many Asian people there, and it was like, oh, this is cool. You know what I mean? And there's a couple blacks scattered around, and there was a lot of white people there too. So it was a mixed variety, I would say, mainly of Asians and white people, and a couple scattered blacks. But it was a fun time. I had a fun time. Like I said, I went by myself. You had actually have to dress up a little bit, not a lot, but you gotta like have something on decent. So I had something decent on. Also on the trip, we went to a place called the Study Hall. The Study Hall. Now the Study Hall is pretty different from what I expected of a Hawaiian night lounge or a bar or sports bar. The reason why I say this is because out of all of the Asian people that I've seen, the it was like the study lounge was basically specifically for college students. So you would see like 100 and 200 basically Caucasian people in the club. And I'm like, well, dang, I just seen like 90% of the places I went had all Asian people, and this was like all Caucasian. I just didn't know it was that many in Hawaii. But it was real cool because it was college kids. And if you know college kids, they get wild. There was a lot of stuff that happened that night, but I couldn't put it on YouTube because I didn't want my YouTube video to get censored or blocked. I don't know. I'm still trying to learn what I can and what I can't put on. But some of the things that happened that night that I got on video footage, I just can't show. I mean, I guess I could talk about girls kissing girls. I guess I could talk about, fights. I guess I could talk about, like people basically almost having sex. I mean, but, if I can't show it, I'd rather not talk about it. Another thing we did while we were down in Hawaii was something called the Pillbox Hiking Trail. Now, the Pillbox Hiking Trail is basically a hike up a mountain. Now, when I say it's a hike up a mountain, it's really a hike up a mountain. So there's no terrain that's just normal and just like an easy walk up. No, you're actually going through mud. You're going through rocks. You're going through loose rocks. You're going through climbing some sections. You're going through having to hold on to a gate to get up. There's a lot of struggle when it comes to pillbox. Basically, that struggle shows that no matter what you're going through, when you get to the top, everything you went through is worth it. That's kind of what pillbox defined for me. Because like pillbox, now mind you, I'm from Newark, New Jersey. We ain't doing no mountain climbing. We ain't doing no trails. We really ain't even running. So you could tell I'm not in the most shape, and neither are my homies. They're just not in shape like that. I mean, so it was a trek. It was a trek. I mean, it's probably a medium on the scale of 1 to 10. It might be like a 7. It's not a 10. I won't say it's a 10, but I will say it's like a 7, especially if you're afraid of heights or if you don't have good footing. But the pillbox is something that I suggest if you go to Hawaii is maybe the first thing you do. The reason why the pillbox hiking trail was so amazing and so great for me, at least, is because I was a little bit cautious of me being able to do it, and when I was getting through it, just talking to myself, and my friends that I was just like talking to everybody, trying to motivate everybody. I was like, no, I'm saying this to motivate myself to keep pushing, because what I seen at the top of that pillbox, I would have never seen if I would have kept pushing. Like, the views is amazing. I mean, the people you meet along the way. It's just basically the pillbox is like a journey of life. In the beginning, you start off by yourself. Along the way, you meet people. Some people go on with you through your journey until a certain point, and then others go on with your journey to another point, and then it may come to a point in life, just as the same as this pillbox, where you get all the way to the end and it's just you by yourself. It doesn't mean any less or any more of anybody that you found along the way, but it's just a definition. It's just an example of life and showing that your journey is your journey and your journey alone. Yes, it's good to make friends on the way. It's good to help with people who can help you along the way, but you gotta stick with your journey at the end of life. And pillbox, is maybe lame as it seems, was one of those experiences for me where it's just like, it all just at the top of the mountain, and it was raining by the time I got to the top. So it was like, it gave me this feeling of like self-acceptance, like, I can do anything. It just gave me that feeling of, yes, I've accomplished this. Like, I did this with my asthma, with my out of shapeness, with my non-ability to even know what to do because I've never done this before, and I made it because I dedicated myself to making it to the top. So it just makes me that much more have that much more pride and have that much more pride in myself. For anybody going to Hawaii, I would say that pillbox is definitely something you should do because it will motivate you to push stronger in life. Well, at least it did for me, and I'm pretty sure to do the same for you. Um, okay, so now let's get into the women of Hawaii. When it comes to the women of Hawaii, let me start off by saying this. There must be some kind of negative look or outlook on Hawaiian women talking to mainlanders. You know why? Because I talked to a couple of mainlanders. They were cool, but the thing is, they're accustomed to people coming from all over the world to Hawaii, having fun with them, maybe even impregnating them, leaving and never coming back. Especially people from the United States. Now, even though the Hawaii is in the United States, because of the distance it is from all the other states, that happens a lot of time. Now, because of this, it's going to make it a little bit harder for you to try to meet up with a woman. I'm just putting it out there for anybody. This is my opinion. This is my experiences. Maybe you just that much luckier, but that was the feeling I got, and also part of the conversation with one of the native Hawaiian women that I met. Now, I must say this when it comes to Hawaiian people also. They don't consider everyone Hawaiian that is born in Hawaii. You basically have to have some Polynesian background in your family to be considered basically a Hawaii native, I guess. But technically, a lot of people born in Hawaii are Hawaii natives. Now, I was able to meet a beautiful woman who was amazing and who showed me around her city, to show me around the state that she lives in, Hawaii. And she was born and raised in Hawaii. She has a daughter who's born and raised in Hawaii. And it was an amazing thing. I went to some of the secret spots in Hawaii that I guess like tour guides and stuff don't show you. And that was a great feeling. She drove me around. She had a car. She drove me everywhere I wanted to go, all across the island. And it was pretty dope. I mean, I got to experience stuff that you can only experience if you get a local person to show you around. We did a couple hiking trails up a mountain, but it wasn't like the first pillbox, but it was like kind of cool. We went to a couple different areas. We went to a mall where they had like a farmer's market inside, which is kind of cool. I drank one of the Maui beers. Now, I don't really drink beers. That's not my thing. But I was over there. I wanted to try something new. So I drank this little Maui beer. It was all right. It made my stomach bubble a little bit, but it was island brewed. So I'm going to try to pronounce this correctly because she told me like 100 times. We went to Haleiwa's restaurant in Kaneohe. Now, it was a pretty cool restaurant. It was a seafood restaurant where they kind of like do hibachi sometimes, but the thing about it is that I'm allergic to shellfish, but it was still like other seafood there. But it was so packed that we couldn't get a seat. So after like 30 minutes of walking around and seeing all the beautiful views, they had an amazing pond that was outside. They had like nice little secluded trees you could walk through, and it was like real romantic. It was the vibe was there. I was feeling the vibe, but it just didn't get it. So we ended up eating some food at the mall, which is dope. When it comes to meeting women in Hawaii, your best bet is to go to study hall first, because college girls are college girls. I don't want to, say anything too wild on here, but college girls are wild. You know what I mean? They kiss in the club. It's cool. It's nothing about that's nothing about that. You might, make out in the bathroom. You might even go further. But I would definitely say go to study hall is a definitely thing. There's another place that we went to called McKilligan's or something like that. Is downtown, and it was cool. We actually met up with these girls from Australia, which may have to be another trip that I go on because I got a couple connections in Australia now. So Melbourne, you might be coming up soon. But they was pretty cool. It was real dope. Hung out with the girls. We had some drinks. We danced. We had some fun times. And there was a lot of people in McGilligan's, and it's about $2 to get in, I believe. And it's and I think that it's $5 to get in or $2 to get in, and it comes with a free drink. So it was cool. It was real cool to go there. A nice little bar atmosphere called McGilligan's or something like that. Now, the fact that Hawaii is part of the United States, you're going to have to actually have some game. I'm not gonna BS it. You're gonna actually have to have some game. I use Tinder in Hawaii. Now, Tinder in Hawaii isn't as up and popping as other countries because the American factor is taken away. The United States factor, rather, is taken away. So, being from the mainland, you may get a couple that's like, hey, but I wasn't getting that many responses. I say for every 100 I swiped, I might have got like 30 responses. So it's like a 30% ratio. And out of 30 responses, I actually maybe got like 15 numbers. Not every 15 numbers I got to actually maybe really consider meeting 7 of them, and out of the 7 I only met 1. So like the ratio wasn't that great, but Tinder works. Tinder works out there. I would suggest doing it in advance, because if you don't do Tinder in advance in Hawaii, you're going to be wasting your time while you're there trying to swipe. It's not like if you go to Colombia or Brazil or you go to Dominican Republic where you can swipe, instantly match, and meet within the 10-minute period. So don't plan like that if you think that's what it is. Now, the last thing I'll talk about in Hawaii are the pros. Hey yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy FRE $H Fresh at the Flyboy Way, all platforms. I know y'all looking like, hey yo, what is Flyboy doing? I know there's another part to these videos. Yes, but unfortunately I had to put them behind the paywall because my #1 video, The Black Man's Guide to Cartagena, was taken off. And you guys know when I like to tell a story, I like to tell a story the way it is. I don't like to hold stuff back that others may find offensive. And unfortunately, we cannot do that anymore on most platforms. So until I create my website, I had to put all of the rest of the guides that you're going to see in the full version behind the membership. Eventually, I will create a website, and it will be free just for the guides. I have about 12 different guides right now, or 15 different guides right now. I don't know, a lot. So you can subscribe to the membership. I made it only $5 because I think that stops it from being a major issue with YouTube. It's, I guess, something that we kind of worked out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope this helped you. That's the reason why I made these videos PG and put them back on for the whole public to see, because I think with information comes safety. And if you get the information, it can help you stay safe when you travel the world. It's your boy FRE $H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's THEFLYBOYWAY. Don't ask why. Just check out the channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.